You're listening to It Came From the Radio. Today we have Isabel Zinman. She's a published writer and a retired librarian. Welcome to the show, Isabel.
Thank you for having me.
Now let's get right into it. Now you worked at a public library for I don't know decades, right? Like 3 decades, four
Over
decades,
30 years.
and you taught kids of all ages. So what's one thing that you learned from your students?
That they love to be listened to.
Oh,
And they love they love it when you can joke.
when you joke.
You cannot be as you can um relay the message and give instructions, but as
Hmm.
long as you have a sense of humor about it, they will.
Yeah.
The more loving you are, the more receptive they are.
You know what? That's a really good tip because sometimes I manage this real estate place. You've seen it. And the last time I was there, I did not answer anything with jokes or humor or a smile or anything playful, which I often do. But I was like, wow, everyone's like responding with an attitude today. I feel like everyone was kind of like bitter. So I'm gonna keep that in my head, be a little bit more smiley, maybe joke around a little bit more, and don't be so serious, because they come to me with a very serious demeanor, and usually I joke back, but sometimes I'm not in the mood, and when I'm not in the mood, then it becomes this serious reaction. All right, next question. What's a funny thing a kid said to you?
Well, it was in kindergarten. It was a
Hmm.
kindergarten class, and they thought, and I was teaching about the seasons,
Hmm.
and a kid piped up, "Oh, I know all about that. That has to do with Mother Nature." And I
Right.
said, "You're right." Another kid said, "Oh, I know who Mother Nature is.
Hmm.
That's God's wife." Well,
Hmm.
the next thing I know, I get a call from a mother telling me that I am teaching religion in a secular school. And I couldn't
Oh.
figure that out until I realized that the kids were the ones who were, talking about it. So as soon as I explained it to the mother, she was okay with it. But
And
that,
yeah.
that was, I think that was one of the things that brings my attention, that I think about.
Well, one thing I think about often, and I've referred to it because you told me this story at least once, that you were in the hallway, I think talking to the school principal, and a kid came up
Oh,
to you and said, Miss Zinman, are you having a bad hair day?
yeah, oh, okay, so let me explain how that happened. I was talking to my principal about something very seriously, and this little boy came by and tugging at my pants.
Mhm.
And we told this little kid that he has to wait. So finally, the principal said to him, "Okay, so what is it that you want to say that's so important?" And he said, "Miss," and he had a lisp. So he said, "Miss Zinman, you're having a bad hair day today, aren't you?"
That's
And it's
funny.
the one day that I decided not to wash my hair and just let it go naturally because I had and um and he thought it was so important that he had to interrupt the conversation to let me know never to wear my hair like that again.
Well, well, the thing is, this hairstyle, if you're watching this, this is not very deep, but it's funny to me. The hairstyle you have now is very smooth, but this happened like 10, 15 years ago. And I remember you said to me, "Oh, I came up with this hairstyle. I don't have to do my hair anymore. It just takes 5 minutes or a couple minutes. I just put mousse in it and I scrunch it and I go." And I said, "Yeah, it looks like you put your finger in an electric socket." I mean, you kept saying how great it was, and I'm like, all right, you
Well,
look electrocuted. So now you got your answer because kids will tell you the honest truth.
yes, and
All
he
right.
was only 6 years old.
Well, speaking of honesty, um, I know you have a story about not hanging up the phone because nowadays, everything is through phones and cell phones. We don't use landlines. So a lot of people, me when I take calls in the shower, because I take calls in the shower to save time, and it works well. It's better for listening than talking, but if you put your phone in a safe place, it's a really great way to save time if you got to shower a lot and you don't really hang up your phone a lot. So tell us about this situation that happened with someone who didn't hang up the phone.
This is a great story, and I'll
Let's
try
hear
to make it very short.
that.
I was very friendly with this person for a long time. She and I would go out every Friday night for dinner. And then I don't know, COVID came and we decided, I don't know, we just lost communication. I bumped into her at at a store and we had a wonderful conversation. I had my dog with me. She loved my dog. And so the next day I decided to call her up and just let her know how nice it was to bump into her.
Hmm.
Well, when I called her, she was on the phone with somebody else. For some reason, she didn't hear me, but I could hear her. And all I heard was, oh my God, here she is calling me. Now what do I do? Oh, I don't want to ever see her again. She she looks terrible. She wears her hair the same way she always did. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? And she went on and out on how miserable she felt about me. I have no idea what I did. So I kept trying to tell her that I could hear everything she said,
Through
but she
your
couldn't
text message.
hear me.
You were texting, right?
I
Or you
was
were on the phone saying it.
finally I decided to text her. And while she was on the phone with this other person, I heard her say, oh, she's texting me right now. There she is. Now, what am I going to do? And my text to her was, I heard everything you said. Don't worry. You won't have to hear from me again. I don't know what I did to you, but whatever I did, I'm very sorry. And I will never ask you out for dinner again or
Right?
whatever. But that was the strangest thing I've ever experienced.
Yeah, you better make sure you're hanging up the other line before you're talking about someone? That's the
Yeah,
lesson in that. Or
she
maybe
had,
just don't talk, I don't know.
I don't even think she knew that I was on the other line. I don't know. It was so,
Did you learn anything from this situation?
still
Any takeaways?
haven't learned one thing.
No? Just hang up your phone.
All I know is that people are very, very sensitive and
Yeah.
think anything that you say that you don't even mean can can drive them up the wall. That's it. I don't know.
Well, speaking of karma, do you believe in karma? And if so, any stories about karma, any witnesses, someone getting karma for better or for worse?
I can't tell you the whole story, but I can tell you that I truly believe that the truth always comes out.
Okay.
I think that you always get caught.
Uh-huh.
You will not ever get away with anything. I
Hmm.
truly believe that. You will be found out. Nothing.
Yeah.
You cannot get away with anything because I believe that the universe watches you and then for some reason tells other people and just tell the truth, be
Hmm.
honest, and always do the right thing. And then that's it.
Any
And
predictions? Speaking of this psychic stuff, have you ever like met someone you're like, oh, this is gonna happen, and then it happens?
it, my dreams, I guess, my dreams sometimes come true.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, I'm very spiritual, and I just truly believe that the universe, if you're in contact with the universe,
Hmm.
it will take care of you. But always give thanks. Always show appreciation. Always understand that there's something more powerful than you.
What if you had a friend that never said thank you? Would you still be friends with this person?
I've never had a friend who never said thank you, so I have no experience in that.
I have. I
Uh,
actually
uh,
cut someone off. Yeah.
no, I most of my friends, I mean, I've never had anybody, the people that haven't shown appreciation are not my friends. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way. If they don't show appreciation for who I am, they're not worth having as friends.
That's true. All right, next, speaking of appreciation and attitudes, you believe in having a positive attitude and not complaining. You even went through chemo during the pandemic, and I didn't catch you complaining at all. I definitely would have been complaining for sure. So what are some things that, people can do or you did to have a positive attitude and not complain?
Um, well, I used the time very wisely.
Okay.
I brought my computer with me. I was still teaching at the time remotely, and I had to do lesson plans, grade papers. So I used all that time in my chair
Hmm.
doing doing my schoolwork, whereas I would watch other people doing absolutely nothing.
Right, right,
Not kidding. Nothing. And it was during COVID, so you really couldn't have a visitor with you. So these
right.
people sat there for 4 hours doing nothing, maybe sleeping, looking at their watches. I mean, what a waste of time. So
Yeah,
I think I was the only patient there that when they told me that my my time was up and they had to take the IV out of me, I was the only one that stayed maybe 10 minutes longer because I don't want to finish my work. Because when I got
right,
home,
right.
I wanted to just veg, knit, do whatever I wanted to do. I didn't want to do any schoolwork. So I got everything
So,
accomplished.
So, what are some other ways people can have a good attitude? If they just feel like they lost all hope, let's say they had a breakup, that's getting you down and they're not appreciated, and maybe they got in a car accident and, maybe their insurance rates went up, everything just seems like it's raining on them, you
Let's say
know.
you get a car accident and you're in the
Hmm.
hospital. Make
Hmm.
friends with the nurses,
Oh, okay.
make friends,
All
and
right.
understand the caring that these people have for you
Hmm.
and appreciate it. I keep a journal, and at the end of every day, I give thanks for something. And
Mm.
I always look forward to something the next day. Even if it's a 10-minute or a 15-minute thing to look forward to,
Right.
find something in the day that's going to bring you joy and happiness. There's
Yeah, that's a good
always
one.
something.
So, okay, I have a random question for you because this is a personal question. Let's say you cast an actor or an actress and they do this theater yelling, which I don't do. I mean, you've known me for quite a while, and I don't think you've ever heard me go, "Well, I'm gonna do this." That's how some theater actors they say their line. Let's say the line is, "What do you think happens after you die?" They go, "Well, what do you think happens after you die?" And let's say you cast them, totally hypothetical, maybe not. And they're doing this whole theater actor BS, which I can't stand. How would you nicely tell them, can you lower your voice and not yell all your lines
Um,
without offending them?
can you play it back to them to show them what it's like?
I think they like this style.
Well, they have to
Let's
listen
say
to
they like this style.
it, have
How would you say it? How would you tell them to stop screaming everything? Because you have more tact than I do, I think. I mean, not all the time, but sometimes. I'm very direct, and I would want to hear it
okay, so
directly.
if I was a director of a movie
Yeah, what would you do?
and I didn't like the way they said the line,
Yeah.
I would I would then say to them, I am the director.
Hmm.
I think that this can be done a different way. Let's
Uh-huh.
try it differently. Soften your voice and
Okay.
let's see what it sounds like in a different tone. You're an
Okay.
actor. You can do this. You can do this many, many ways. Let's try it my way.
All right. All right. What would you do? Last question. What would you do if I decided to scream everything I said every time I saw you? Wow, hello there! Isn't it a beautiful
My
day?
my mother was like that sometimes.
Oh,
And I would just stop. I would just
stop.
stop. I wouldn't say a word.
Oh,
Nothing, nothing,
I'd run away.
nothing. And I would just pause
Uh,
and then say it and, say it
keep
my way
going.
or not respond. If
All right.
it's, just this is their problem.
Anyway, we're at the end of the interview, so just give us your final thought before we close out.
Oh, I just think that people can change attitudes very easily if they have
Okay.
strategies. Find something good in every day, find something to look forward to.
Mhm,
Uh, and learn something new.
mhm.
Learn something new. When you meet a challenge, it's the most rewarding experience. Uh,
Yeah.
keep your brain active,
Mhm.
uh, and don't say no. Say yes more often and
All
smile.
right. You know what I look forward to at the end of the day? Eating peanut butter, but I need to find something else before I
Oh,
gain another 10 pounds. So
well,
on that note, we're going to
I
go back to the studio for more. It came from the radio. Thank you for listening.